Because if you have that, you basically have everything that you need to carry on and survive and to tackle problems. So with that, I give you the poem Wisdom. It was me and the boss man taking a ride, murky and dark as we looked outside. And so, to make our connection, he turned and he asked me a question. He said, if you had one wish and nothing more, what would it be that you would ask for? For a minute, I sat and I wondered. And then he began his out loud ponder. He said, a lot of us are drawn to material, but I know something I long to feel. It's not just experience, it is insight. It has taken notes on even the past's hindsight. It is a must for any man. I must get it however I can. If I had a bag, I would toss you some. Oh, how I long for a daily dose of wisdom. And I think commonly as people, we think of wisdom as acquiring things that we should do. Wisdom to me is as much as learning from people about what not to do as what to do. Again, that was the poem Wisdom from my book, Letter Kindling. This is Beyer on Goodbye Problems PSA Virtual Summit with Tonya Hofmann. So first way we can tackle problems and say goodbye problems. Seize opportunities. It's never the right time. Second, acquire wisdom. Experience is the best teacher. Don't be afraid to fail. Next, we have 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth. And I think we're made that way for a reason. We need to put a lot of stock into what we see and what we hear. Observe. Observe people doing the right thing. Observe them not doing the right thing so you can acquire the wisdom to tackle problems by acquiring a solution. So with that, I give you the poem Observe. Observe. 2 eyes, 1 mouth. Observe. You know what this story is about. Observe. There's so much we can learn. Observe, Julia. Soon you will barrel the curve. Observe the tantalizing sunset. Observe. Much is far from over yet. Observe the rocks and the sand. Observe our beautiful everywhere land. Observe the clicks in the pen. Observe the chicks in the pen. Observe the dock could be hollow. Observe the water could be shallow. Observe you own what you see. Observe your thoughts tell me. When I wrote that poem, Observe, I thought of Jackie Robinson, the first African-American baseball player to play Major League Baseball. And I thought some of the best advice that he ever got was from another player named Ernie Banks, who played for the Chicago Cubs, Mr. Cub for a number of years. He said, Jackie, for about the first 5 years, just listen, just watch. And I think by doing that, that's what allowed Jackie Robinson to tackle those problems that he was faced with every day and to become a Hall of Fame baseball player. Tackling problems. Seize opportunities. It's never the right time. Use your experiences. Use your wisdom. Learn from people even if it's what not to do. And put a lot of stock into observation, into the 2 eyes at the front of your head. I grew up with the belief that the worst thing I could be was normal. You wanted to be unique. And on my recent podcast with Ben Rhodes, one of the quotes he used was a quote from Dr. Seuss. He said, everyone's weird, life is a little weird, and when you meet somebody that is as weird as you are, you join in mutual weirdness, and you call it love. I couldn't have said it better myself. Have the courage to be yourself when everyone is trying to be the same. Another way to tackle problems. And with that, I give you my poem, individuality saved? Are you trying to stand out, but sure your twin is out there, no doubt? They wear what you wear, and they do what you do. Your carbon copy, nothing new. But let me ask you this, do they have your tone, your heartbeat, or your mission? Remember, it is impossible to measure what lies within with so many similar variables. Remember how you are made. Have no fear. Your individuality is saved. Tackle problems. It's never the right time. Use your wisdom. Observe. Stand up. Be courageous. Be yourself. And you'll be able to find the solution to those problems. Money. Drugs and alcohol. Sex. Those are all things that are self-medication. We all want to have an impact. We all want to make our mark in this world. Realize that the impact you have on other people is the greatest currency you could ever have. And you may not know it, but when you make a good impression on somebody, you're tackling some of your own problems. And with that, I give you my poem, The Greatest Currency. All your life, you push it to the limit. You hope and you wish for a salary 6 digits, wanting to be better than anyone you ever knew, wanting it all, the cash, the cake, and the glue. Wanting it all for every minute, second, and passing hour because it's the coin that has the power. But time fades and memories pass. So I ask you, which is the currency that lasts? Is it the bank, your cash? My friend, I'm afraid those things don't last. But what about time and advice we've passed on to family and friends? I think it's those things that don't have an end. I've come to one conclusion, all you lads. Your impact on each other is the greatest currency you could ever have. There's no doubt about that to me. I can recall I'm 21 years old in college and I'm running around the track after a baseball game. This is some 18 years ago. And one of the track athletes stopped me and said, "Hey, if you have a moment, I just want to tell you that you are a real inspiration to me and I've watched you for the last 3 years. You don't know the impact you have on other people. Try to be the right kind of person all of the time, and you'll be rich with impact and be able to tackle your own problems." Remember, it's never the right time. Seize opportunities. Use your experiences. Wisdom is all around us. Learn from people, even if it's what not to do. Have the courage to stand up and be yourself when everybody is trying to be the same person. And realize the greatest currency that we hold in this world is the impact on other people. These are ways you can tackle your problems. As we grow older, we need to realize that who we were is not who we are. But parts of us, parts of who we were, is still who we are. To tackle problems, take the point of view of a child. With that, I give you the poem, Hey Stranger. Hey stranger, that shadow, it's me. A picture of you from back in '93. Take a look back if you feel compelled, and read me like a book of the stories I can tell. Remember what you want if you want to remember. You're at your best when you didn't know any better. At times you were green, a bit uncouth, but always looking up, a very optimistic youth. The stars were the limit with your fresh face. Today's failures are burdens, but yesterday they were just mistakes. You were you, and you were relentless. You were you, and the possibilities were limitless. Listen, soon I will shut the door. Soon I will leave. But just remember, stranger, within you I breathe. To tackle problems, tap into that person in some way, shape, or form that you once were. Take the point of view of a child, and anything is possible. Seize opportunities. It's never the right time. Use your experiences. Stand up and be courageous. Realize the greatest currency you hold is your impact on other people. Okay? And carry the point of view of a child. Realize that you are powerful, more powerful than you can imagine. It takes me back to the story of Terry Fox. Those of you from Canada know his story very, very well. In the year 1980, after he had contracted cancer and lost a leg because of it, he ran 3,339 miles across Canada on one leg, not for himself, but all in the effort to raise money for kids with cancer. Those kids he saw in the hospital. Those kids he saw in the hospital that were, at that point, no longer living. Realize you are more powerful than you can imagine. And with that, I give you the poem, I Sweat, I Don't Get Tired. All your life, every day, minute, second, passing hour, you're going at it all right, hitting all your marks, morning, evening, and night. Through sweat, pain, torture, and agony, you bring the heat on the road to who you want to be. Every task on high alert, never bored, your next set, that's your reward. And so, from head to feet, you keep bringing the heat, and you sweat. You don't get tired. Realize, again, you're more powerful than you can imagine. You do have the energy to tackle these problems. Again, focus on the solution rather than the problem. I do a lot of reading. It takes me back to a book called The Last Lecture by Dr. Randy Pausch. In that book, he writes of a relationship he had with an ex-girlfriend who had fallen into debt. And to deal with the stress caused by the debt, she resigned to take yoga classes. He examined this and said, why don't you get a part-time job to pay off your debt? And therefore you wouldn't have any stress caused by the debt. So focus on the disease, not the symptoms. Good way to tackle problems. Okay? More powerful than you can think. Adversity. We're all going to have it in life. And it actually is one of the keys to victory. Because we're going to have it, and you've got to know that you can handle these problems. Make tomorrow great. With that, I give you the poem, Never Seen Tomorrow. Sitting at my post, pretty close to defeat, approached by my man, metal cleats on concrete. I looked at my watch. It said 6:35. Gray hairs on my chin, feeling barely alive. He said, what you got? Me, I had nothing. So he took off his cap and he told me something. He said, as days go on and people wither in sorrow, change how you think because we've never seen tomorrow. So go out there and do what you do. Do what has never been done. Stand up and be a man, my son. The clock, 6:46, one more off the tee. Go out there and turn dreams to reality. Again, that was the poem Never Seen Tomorrow. It's about a relationship I have with one of our players for the Somerset Patriots, Scott Kelly. He actually gave me that line. If we've never seen tomorrow, make a commitment now to make it great. And therefore, you can tackle your problems. Again, I'm Fox Beyer, teacher, speaker, author, coach on the PSA Virtual Summit, topic Tackling Problems. And I'm giving you all 10 ways that I can think we can tackle and say goodbye to problems. 1, the time is never right. Seize opportunities. 2, Use your wisdom. Understand that we can learn from people even if it's learning what not to do. 3, put great stock into what you see. Be aware of the power of your own observation. 4, stand up and be yourself. Have the courage to be yourself when everyone is trying to be this one person. Next, understand that you might not be who you once were, but there's something in there, okay, that is who you once were. Tap into the childlike version of yourself. Take life from the point of view of a child, always. Realize that you are more powerful than you can imagine. With the story of Terry Fox, I think can't get any better than that. And next, make a commitment today, okay, at 4:18 Eastern Standard Time to make tomorrow great. Next, feed your mind. Read. Watch stories of triumph. They let you know that you are stronger than any difficulty. And with that, I give you my poem, Feed Your Mind. Be on time. Be polite. Have a good sense of humor. Don't get involved or get trapped in rumors. Criticize in person, but praise in print. And don't beat yourself up, because we all sin. Don't be a money lender or a borrower, that's for sure. Instead, want less, give more. Question what is popular, and ask why. Every day, laugh, think, and cry. Stay humble, be kind, take care of your body, feed your mind, and your problems will have no chance against you. Final advice on tackling problems. Know that Victory Highway is not paved, and take great satisfaction out of circumventing, going through all of your failures. Understand that winners win because they learn when they lose. And the final poem today is called Tough Beginnings to a Happy Life. The early was a day-to-day struggle. It went from bad to worse, and the pain, well, it doubled. Never far from imminent danger, from the tough and the unforgiving, I was no stranger. Closure to me seemed impossible, but toughness, I had that, and it was plentiful. So I turned my pain into inspiration, and every day I gave it a game-faced salutation. I said, hello, tough times. You were just a pit stop to a happy life. Because what's Victory Highway without some struggle and strife? Again, I'm Fox Beyer on the PSA Virtual Summit with Tonya Hofmann, saying goodbye problems. Here are the ways you can do it. The time is never right. Seize opportunities. Use your wisdom. Observe. You can learn from people even if it's what not to do. Have the courage to be yourself. You are more powerful than you can imagine. Look at life always through the point of view of a child and realize the road to success is not paved. Want to make you an offer? If you're listening and you like what you're hearing, fire me an email off my website. Website is foxbeyer.com. That's F-O-X, like the animal, B-E-Y-E-R.com. Fire me an email. Let me know that you like what you heard, and I'd be glad to send you a copy of my book of poetry called Letter Kindling, Igniting, Inspiring, and Evoking the Fire Within. Thank you all so much. Take good care. Tonya, back to you.
Awesome. All right, everyone. If you have a question or a comment for Fox, raise your hand by pushing *9. *9 will raise your hand. You can unmute you so you can ask your question or your comment.
Hi, Karen. Hi, Rob.
Remember that
Hi, Tim.
Remember that we will up onto the website shortly. So by 8 o'clock tonight, I'll have them all up for y'all to listen to over and over again.
Thanks, Tonya.
Thank you, Fox. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you more than you know, more than you can imagine.
All right, everyone. Well, you have a great rest of your day, and thank you for joining us on the virtual summit. Remember to join us again February 7th for our next one, and it's going to have a love theme, so who knows what we'll be talking about. So enjoy, have a great rest of your day, and go out and make 2018 amazing. Goodbye.
Thank you all for watching. Tommy, thank you. If you're learning from failures, you will never lose. You bet you, Rob. Stats. Yeah, I'm going to probably use that. Hello, Miss Karen. How are you? So I do these virtual summits once a month, and I figured that going on Facebook Live is a good way to reach people, other than rather than having them call a number and stuff like that, because we're on Facebook so much. But thank you all for watching. I'm going to sign out. And to quote Rob Stats, if you're learning from failures, you will never lose. Take good care. Bye now.